Clash of the Titans.
Jumping into point number 1. Also, San Diego Dynasty has knocked out Damage at every single event this year. They beat him twice on Sundays, and they beat him in the last game in the prelims at the last event, and Damage did not make Sunday in Cincinnati. Dynasty doubling up that back center, and here goes Arturo Andrade. He's going to dive in. Jacob Edwards is going to be the first to go, and it looks like good zone control here for Tampa Bay. I think it might have been Keith Brown. The shot in on Arturo. And Harrison Fry, though, does get through the gap, and he gets into the snake. So it's going to be a 4-on-5 situation here in favor of Damage at point number 1.
Yep, and you got Alex Goldman getting into Dynasty snake here, and another body walking, 2 bodies walking off for Damage off the right. I think that's both Edwards brothers taking the walk, so it's a 4-on-3 situation here in favor of Dynasty. I was going to say I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say that Damage is going to dig deep and take this one, but as soon as I say that, Keith Brown is getting a check, and it looks like he is going to be...
I think there's one off his pack.
I think it was off the top of his head. Yep. They're going to call that.
Nothing there. Keith is playing paintball.
I think he took a bounce on the top of his head there, but Blake Yarber is going to push his way into the Dorito 50, where he's basically lived. You might as well just put a tent over there for him.
Yeah,
Goldman's going to take the walk.
Yeah, so Goldman was way up on the snake side, but he gets caught by Blake Yarber. Here comes Yosh Rao to filter out after the death of Harrison Fry, so it is getting interesting here in a 3-on-2 situation. Blake Yarber, the tip of the spear for Dynasty, and he's on the D side. He's past the 50, trying to put these variables together and figure out who he's going to attack. So he's blocking out Keith Brown, using the wedge, and now using that Dorito 3 to block out Chris Shearer, his former teammate.
Blake Yarber going nuts. Oh, no.
He got caught there by Keith over the top, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there from Blake, as a too big of a bite. Has all the time in the world to work this high body situation that goes right at him. Yosh is also going to be taking the walk. So this is where Dynasty has been grinding their gears. They keep making these little mistakes that are costing them in these moments. That was a 3-on-2.
Yep, so it's going to leave Joe Barrett in the Dorito 1 by himself over there. And Chris Shearer is going to push all the way. Okay, he gets the kill.
Wow, great back and forth, trading blows all the way through that match. Maddie shaking his head. As a coach to be like, same play, but better.
Right. All right, it looks like Dynasty's going to go a little bit pocket. They're going to break out of that pretty quick. So both teams wide, but it looks like Goldman the first into the snake here. Harrison Fry is going to make his way into the snake 1 for Dynasty, though.
Chris Shearer trying to counter, getting into that Dorito 3 quickly.
That's actually Chris Horn.
Oh, it's Chris Horn.
Chris Horn got the spin on this one, yes, sir. And he's going to be in that, I don't know how you're naming these Doritos, but I guess we'll call that Dorito 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys call it like Charlotte or something like that, right?
You know what? In the Carolinas, a lot of teams like to use the call Carolina, Virginia. I hate it. I'm like, I'm not yelling that. Carolina's too long. Forget that.
I'm already out of breath and tired.
Yeah.
Why are you even giving me more than one syllable?
No, I got on a team once. I joined a new team, and one of their calls was San Antonio, and I said, absolutely not. I will not be yelling San Antonio.
At least it was English. We were talking about that, too.
Yep.
So now Alex Goldman has crawled up into snake 3. Goldman's been doing a good job of getting past that snake 2, but it just, unfortunately for Damage, just hasn't been super effective. They've been losing some bodies, and also once you get up into snake 3, unless there's guys really far up on the D side, you don't have a ton of bodies to shoot from there. You are a giant thorn in your opponent's side, and that is what Alex Goldman's doing right now.
Yeah, you can see the pace that Damage is ready to play. Keith just settling in, fixing his pack, kind of setting up, getting ready for the endurance battle over here on the snake side.
He's got to, like, recharge real quick.
Well, Keith,
turn the boosters on.
Keith, a hero for him in that last one, getting that shot on Blake that was the difference maker, and then owning the snake side. Joe Barrett getting a spin. He's going to filter out behind Blake Yarber.
It looks like Greenspan's going to work his way here into the Tortilla Tower, as I heard you guys are calling it. So we got 3 in the snake here for Dynasty. We got Arturo looking inside, Harrison Fry behind him.
Well, Tortilla Tower just rolls right off the tongue.
It does.
Shout out to our new sponsor. It is a tortilla factory. Body coming off right now, and it's going to be Blake Yarber here for San Diego Dynasty. So Dynasty needs to tighten it up here if they want to put a second win on the board and save their tournament. Getting a chance to punch a ticket into Sunday. Damage also fighting for their lives. They don't want to get knocked out 2 events in a row.
Yeah, that's a hard-fought battle. There's definitely a mental edge to this match.
Well, it's also, we talk about in a tournament, it's tough to beat the same team twice. Dynasty's beat Damage 3 times this year at every single event. Knocked them out every single event. At a certain point, Damage is due.
That's why I think at the beginning of the match, that's why I was saying something feels right about this one for Damage. So we'll see. Marcelo calling 54, red alert. He definitely understands the situation. He's popping the top of that little mini W, trying to get vision on what's going on here. And it looks like someone's getting a check on the Dorito side for Damage, and I believe that's Jacob Edwards. that's going to be taking the walk. So it'll be a 4-on-4 situation here.
That was a bounce shot off
of the can.
Doritos
Yes, it
can
was.
into the back of his head.
And that is valid. That bounce shot is there. And that should be...
Schomeyer?
Yeah, Danny Schonauer.
Oh, I was crediting that to Harrison Fry. Sorry, Danny. It's Danny Schonauer in there in the snake.
Yeah, so Danny's been getting a decent amount of spins. A big show, Schonauer, as Greenspan dealing with. He was playing in game 1 as they needed a win, but he is dealing with a potentially severe knee injury. So just, you know, the GOAT playing on an injured knee. But they have depth on their roster, so let's get Danny some spins. Actually, Greenspan is out there still, so it's Danny and Greenspan. I give Ryan props, man. He's been doing this for 24 years, and he always plays hurt. Well, when he's hurt, he plays.
Exactly.
He's not always hurt. He actually was the Wolverine for a while. He was, like, impervious to injury for 2 decades.
It's that San Diego water, man. Got him. Arturo, great job progressing into the snake 3 with the help of Danny. Lots of pressure from Chris Horn right now.
So right now, with Joe Barrett on the Dorito side on an island looking heads up, I think the highway move.
Ooh,
Well,
and another kill here for San Diego Dynasty as they take out Keith Brown, getting shot over the top, and that sends Marcelo Margot into desperation. Has to fill out wide to stop the bleeding here for damage. And they're going to get Chris Shear up and on that side as they lose Ryan Greenspan. Chris Shear, or is that Horn?
That's Horn.
Horn, yeah, Horn
Chris
on
Horn
the
going
attack.
to work.
And they shoot out Schonauer and Andrade as Alex Goldman comboing here with Horn to win this point here. Second point on the board right now for Tampa Bay. It wasn't looking good for damage for a while, squandering. It looked like about to squander a high body situation.
I'll sell his phone number to you guys.
Oh, snap.
That's a lie, because I don't have Greg's phone number.
So
I'll take your
after
money.
a long wait here as Dynasty with some work to do, down by 2, 8:26, in case you forgot, Danny Schonauer getting the spin, but dying here relatively close to the break, trying to take some ground Snake's side, and here comes some fills from Dynasty in this 5-on-4 situation. So definitely a big boost here to Tampa Bay Damage's chances to move on if they can put up a big score and go 2-2.
With that first kill from Danny, Alex Goldman wasting no time sneaking into the snake 3. Keith Brown filling in right behind him to get a good 2-on-1 situation against Arturo and Yosh over here in the snake.
Oh, but Artie just poked his pack up just a bit, and Damage did not miss with the crossfield shot. Got to be Edwards there, I believe, over the top from the can. And so now 5-on-3 situation here of Tampa Bay.
Joe Barrett trying to make the counter into the snake, and a big run on Dynasty's Dorito side into the big wedge.
Yeah, Dynasty still pushing the issue here.
They need the points.
Yeah, I mean, margin's important, but it doesn't matter if you go 1-3. This is a win or go home situation for Dynasty. And when you're already down 2, sitting on a 35, meaning 3-on-5, you have no choice. You have to try to create offense.
Yeah, I like Joe Barrett's action here. Yosh starting to creep into the middle, looking to break that game open, maybe get a shot in on Alex Goldman.
Well, they're going to run through. Yosh is able to make it clean and able to get the kill on Mouse. No, not yet, but then he gets diced up by Keith Brown. I think Mouse is still alive here, and that is now going to force the concession here from Dynasty to preserve some time. But
Perfect game by Damage.
yeah, Damage just locked up, get those early kills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the question is, did they burn themselves out on that 3-man? That might be it too. They
is
play
the
the
question.
entire day. It's hot out here.
We saw a lot of, you know, what we would call all-star players not play the 3-man, obviously with that concern. You know, I called it the every point players. The guys who never sit, those guys were not in the 3-man. You wanted to preserve them for the big tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kirill and Malloy were not even dressed
Right.
here. I mean, I think I saw Kirill in the pits, but yeah, to your point, I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah.
Oh, one off the break for Tampa Bay Damage. Jacob Edwards taking it over the top of that mini wall.
That's a good kill here for Dynasty. Does open it up a little bit with about 6:43 here still on the clock. Need to keep their bodies alive. They do not, though. So they, Danny Schonauer are going to take the walk now 4-on-4.
Looks like Alex Goldman's getting a check here, and he is clean, so he makes his way into the tortilla tower.
Harrison Fry trying to move it around on the Dorito side, pushing into that big wedge. It's him versus Marcelo in the back center right now to make that happen.
Marcelo getting a check in the back center.
And Harrison Fry
like he's
performing in the 50 brick. and shoots Jason Edwards out of that Dorito side can. Great
Yeah.
job by Harrison Fry.
Yeah, and a big kill here for Dynasty. So here comes Joe Barrett moving up on that D side, goes all the way. Looks like he wants to go past the wedge, does stop to shoot that back center cut. Goldman still alive here in the snake. There goes Shear. Shear moving up for Tampa Bay.
It's a big fill out for Chris because he can pick up the wire here, and it's exactly what he does. So great move by Chris there.
Gets the kill on Harrison Fry down the sideline. Massive kill here for Chris Shear to stop this offense for San Diego Dynasty.
It looked bad for a minute. We're back to an even 3-on-3 battle. Little better situation for Dynasty right now. Arturo Andrade in the snake 3, starting to hunt Marcelo. Both teams just a little communication, trying to figure it out.
Here comes the move on the D side, or on the snake side, and Ryan Greenspan's going to come up, stitch up his former teammate, Alex Goldman, and possibly get the shot on another former teammate, Chris Shear, crossfield. And so the GOAT, Ryan Greenspan, still with a bum knee, showing some speed and a great read to put their first point on the board with 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. Good job, Ryan Greenspan.
No, it's real, though. I can't even shoot over the home, my guy.
How tall are you, Jen?
5'3".
Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yep. When the Aztecs are a little deflated, I can see. But first body to take the walk is going to be Alex Goldman, who's going to die out of the snake here for damage.
Which is a massive kill. Anytime you're playing Alex Goldman, one of the best ever, get him off the field if you can, especially with how much ground he's been taking in Dynasty. Able to get 2 bodies here into the snake, but it still is Damage's game. They have 4 bodies alive. They're in the back bunkers right now, trying to hold it down. I'd like to see him take a little bit more ground.
I mean, Danny Schoenhauer past the 50 now in the snake, wrapping on Marcelo, looking to do some work.
Yeah, that Dorito side can is going to get really tight here in a second with 2 bodies in the snake for Dynasty. Jacob Edwards is going to be fighting for his life out of that can. Danny going to crawl here into Damage's snake.
Well, as long as he doesn't hit the bunker and telegraph his move, he should have a shot cross field.
I think Chris Shear might be anticipating it because there's already paint there, but...
So now the moves need to be made on the D side.
100%.
Yeah, Danny's all the way up on their side. As soon as they figure out that Danny is here, guns are going to shift his way and moves are going to start to happen. And here comes Keith Brown. Sure enough, he gets outside wide. Danny's tucked in, so doesn't have to worry about the shot down the sideline as long as he doesn't poke his head that way. Danny needs to just stay on Shear and let Shear shoot at him and just take a bunch of pressure off everyone else. But the move has to be made on that D side. Who's that? Is that Harrison?
Yep,
Harrison has to get it going over there. I mean, he still has time to work with. He has 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. They're down by 2, but all this pressure is going on Danny right now. So Harrison needs to make moves up on that D side.
Ryan Greenspan saved his snake players. Keith Brown made a quick move out to the tortilla tower, but Ryan caught him in the last second.
Marcelo going to take the walk out of the back center for damage.
Yeah, Marcelo not able to get tight enough in that back center, but Harrison Fry going to die off that D side here for Dynasty, so it's going back and forth on the kills.
Looks like Danny might be doing a little loader gun surgery here in Damage's snake. Bad time for some gun surgery.
I was going to say, not an ideal time to do surgery on your gun. Looks like he's got his weapon up and running again, and he's wrapping around trying to put pressure on that. Dorito's got a little bit of a shot over that nipple on that mini wall, but he can't get too focused because Shear could pop out and put a ball on him. He's got to be very careful.
Coming up on 3 minutes here.
So here comes Joe Barrett with a big bite on the D side, gets all the way to the 50. That's going to help out Danny Schoenhauer quite a bit as soon as they figure out that he's there in the gun shift. Joe Barrett continues to blaze forward. Danny Schoenhauer, does he get pinched out of there? They're calling a body out. Who is that taking the walk? It's Arturo Andrade.
Jacob Edwards going to take the walk as well, though, so it's going to leave
2-on-3 situation, and here comes Joe Barrett. He's going to trade out with Chris Shear, and that leaves a 2-on-1 right now in favor of San Diego Dynasty with just Keith Brown versus Danny Schoenhauer and Ryan Greenspan.
Ryan with the quick adjustment over to the Dorito side.
Yeah, but Keith Brown shoots Danny Schoenhauer. Danny shakes his head in frustration. 2:22 here on the clock, still down by 2. 1-on-1. Does Ryan have any paint? Yes, he does. He's going to load up a pod out there injured with a bum knee. Taking on Keith Brown here in a 1-on-1. So big advantage for Keith. He's by his buzzer. He's got a 2-point lead.
He has no paint on his back, though, Maddie. So I think he just loaded his last pod.
Can Ryan Greenspan add to his illustrious legacy here by winning this 1-on-1 while injured against Keith Brown?
And not only that, but he's going to need to give his team enough time to win another point after this.
Yeah, he's engaging. He is basically recklessly engaging in a 1-on-1 because he has to try to bully Keith. And he does get the shot, so Ryan Greenspan's going to do it yet again, 24 years running, and Ryan Greenspan's going to make this a match. They win this game and they move on, they're going to need them tomorrow if they want to win this tournament.
Well, not only that, if they win this point, they have to go to potentially to overtime, yeah?
Indeed, indeed. And also, it's not like the guys on the, in the depth chart are bad. You know what I mean?
You're not going to the second string here.
Yeah. So here on the replays, as this was the close, so Danny Schonauer getting taken out by Keith Brown, a little bit of tough death. Danny knew it, locked in that 2-on-1, took it down to a 1-on-1. Greenspan had to be hyper proactive in this situation to force the moment and then just put the ball about a half-inch off that bunker to get the kill on a head-checking Keith Brown, and then gets in there as fast as he can to hit the buzzer, and then immediately goes right to that knee. That's the knee that's hurting him too. A bit light on the D side, but you have to launch within 10-15 seconds, because within 30 to 40 seconds, you all have to be at the 30 to 50 yard line ready to attack. And on the breakout, looks like Dynasty going to be losing Danny Schonauer on the break. Great job. Or as Tampa Bay Damage is going heavy guns up, they stay pretty much in the pocket with one risk out wide on the D side. Dynasty does push the issue on that side with the double stack of attackers, and they are running and gunning through zones, but they're going to be losing another body here as Harrison Fry takes the walk. But here comes Blake Yarber, bullies his way into the 50 brick, wrapping around, but still looking at a ton of bodies here for Tampa Bay. Yosh Rao is going to help him out over there, and they're going to just leave Arturo Andrade over on this snake side of the field as we hit the minute mark.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, I feel like when a team needs to win a decently quick point, I feel like the push more often comes from Dorito's side, at least from what I've seen. Not necessarily here, but on some of the other fields. So Damage definitely keyed up on that, keeping Keith Brown in this mini W here looking D-way.
Blake and Yosh sending it at 42 seconds, and we're going to see a concession here from the coaching staff for San Diego Dynasty to give Dynasty any chance at all to stay in this tournament.
42 seconds. If Dynasty decides to full send and Damage, has enough time to hit that buzzer, you want to go ahead and get that point margin as well.
We did talk about how Damage was due. Dynasty has knocked him out of every tournament.
Hey, I said it at the start of this match. Yep.
Big bite up the middle right now for Harrison Fry. Danny Schonauer getting shot, trying to take ground here on the snake side yet again, and no one coming off here for Damage. So it's looking really good for Tampa Bay Damage to finally knock out San Diego Dynasty, give them a taste of their own medicine.
Arturo coming off, trying to cross around that snake too, followed by Ryan Greenspan out of the tortilla tower.
Yep, so we got a 5-on-2 here in favor of Damage. About 15 seconds on the clock. Harrison Fry is going to take the walk out of the center. It's going to be a 5-on-1. You can see Goldman wanting to turn the burners on. He wants the point, and he's going to run for it. Man, that dude is fast. Almost stepped out of bounds, and he wants it. There it is.
Leaves the last body alive and goes to hit the buzzer to get that margin.
I knew it was coming.
Wanted to get the margin. Mouse, thumbs up from the referee. Point is good. 3 seconds left. Probably going to burn that off.